Please be quiet. Please be quiet.
You did the photo, we're sorry.
Thank you. We're up to construction notices.
We have the
Fleet
reports.
reports.
That's kind of what I'm at.
We have the reports for the month. We have a total of $14,532 collected for various construction permits, COs and apartment inspections in the construction office. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the borough clerk for the month of April. A total of $4,344.20 was collected for various permits, licenses, including pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the police department for the month of April. A total of $93 was collected for various accident discoveries, solicitor reports, and requests. All funds were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the municipal court for the month of March. A total of $12,294.51 was collected in fines. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the registrar of vital statistics for the month of April. A total of $3,528 was collected for death copies, marriage copies, and marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the fire marshal for the month of April. A total of $3,997.25 was collected in fire fees. 74 total inspections completed, 124 incidents, and 1 special use type 1 permit issued. Total fire and EMS fees collected for the month, $27,508.67. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. The report of the tax collector for the month of April, a total of $1,690,389.82 was collected in taxes, and in sewer, $72,102.43.
May I have a motion?
I make the motion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah.
Communications.
We have a letter from Ralph Jones, the fire subcode official, resigning from his position as of May 1st.
May I have a motion?
I make a motion to receive.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Committee reports.
Thank you. I'm just going to rely on my report from caucus. We do have a few things on the agenda tonight. As we get to them, we have a personnel issue. We're going to be reappointing someone to fill Mr. Jones's resignation. Everybody's aware of that in caucus. And then I'd like to report progress. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion? I know it's who's next. It's a motion. I was reading right up here, didn't it? I can read. I want to tell you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For the police department this month, we had traffic summonses, 118. For parking summonses, only 7. But we had 26 motor vehicle crashes. And that's always a tough thing. We had 104 arrests for the month. That's a lot of arrests. Our men are very proactive and very concerned about the quality of life in our town. So this is what you're seeing. The perps are getting caught. Arrests year to date, 414, and only 6 hours of overtime. That's a really good report. Our fire department is having their classic car show. Ladies, gentlemen, mark your calendars, May 31st, 10 o'clock in the morning at the firehouse, and they will be showing the classic cars. And if anyone was there last year, it was amazing. It was an amazing show. They had over 80 cars, and it was just wonderful. So please support the fire department and go on May 31st. I'm going to wear my other hat of education. I'm the liaison to our Board of Education. And I did attend the meeting, as I do every month. And Naomi Davidson was presented with a plaque from the board as Master Board Member. Now, she has worked on this certification for many years. So it is with great honor that we all honored her that night. And I just wanted to make it known to the members and council that we do have a Master Board Member on our Board of Education. I did address other things like the Chromebooks that the Board of Education bought. And right now, they have 120 of them. Eventually, every child in the middle school will have a Chromebook. They will be able to take them home. However, there will be certain restrictions that the parents will have to abide by. They will have to buy an insurance policy, and there will be certain parameters that they will have to follow in order for the children to take the Chromebooks home. They will not replace all the books. Books will still be used as a resource, but these are the important technology steps that our Board of Education is making to improve the performance of our children. And that is my report.
Thank you. Tasia?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I met with my committee, and right now we are planning Memorial Day services, which will be on Monday, May 26th at 12 noon at the Memorial Site. Preparations for the 4th of July have already begun. Our townwide yard sale will be on Saturday, June 7th. Our yard cleanup is scheduled for June 21st. More information to follow as soon as we put it on the website, and people can go on there and get more information. Youth Mayor and Council started this week, and today we went to Trenton to visit the state capitol, and Thursday we will be visiting Philadelphia, the Constitution Center. Friday we will be off to the Senator's office, and our closing night will be Saturday, May 10th. I am honored tonight, we all are honored tonight to have the members of our Youth Mayor and Council. So can you stand up and take a little bow? Give us your names. Give us your names and who you're representing.
I'm Sarah and I represent Wicks-Wright. I'm Bernie Welsh and I represent
Speak a little louder, kids.
I'm Ryan Moore and I represent Nicopolis.
I'm Marie Leonetti and I represent Eleanor Kelly.
I'm Lacey Knopp and I represent the Diet. I'm Celia and I'm not sure, but I know.
Spread the word.
I'm Taryn and I represent Motivation.
Thank you. And with that, that's the end of my report. I'll move forward. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm glad to announce that Green Acres bathrooms are finally done, right? Yes. It was a long time coming, but I don't know if anybody's been down to see them. They look great. Very, very, very nice to have something like that running. Also, we're still waiting on Washington Avenue, the CDBG grant. Irish Hill, we're waiting on survey and waiting also fire department and the NJAW regarding the water pressure up there. That there's not enough water up there, and we want to see somehow get more pressure up there. Front and side doors were sent out for bid. We finally have one person, Walker Construction, is going to put new front doors on, new side door, which has to be raised, and it's going to be quite a amount of work there, but I think it'll be done in 10 days, something like that.
Well, if we approve it tonight.
So hopefully it gets approved, and that's my report.
Thank you. Public Works Bank?
Thanks, Mayor. Public Works has been working along with Parks and Rec on the RY, helping remove the fences, taking out the bleachers from down at the softball field at Green Acres. The conditions of the field are a little bit wet, and once they dry out enough that we can, we'll borrow some equipment that we share a service with Triton, and they let us get the fields in better shape, especially that softball field, because it's a mess. Triton, we did help out Triton with the striping of their parking lot with our line painter. We will be painting curbs and striping the borough parking lot. The paint is on order, but I think that's kind of where we are with it right now. It's just ordered. We utilize the truck wash as the shared service in Barrington with washing of the one of the trash trucks and a couple of the other trucks, the small pickup trucks. And I'm happy to report that all of the trucks in the borough are now labeled that say Borough of Borough Meeting. They all have numbers on them, and they are all labeled. So that has been a year and a half in the works. So I'm happy to say that that's done. And the borough website is on the tailgate. So everybody, the website is, except for the one tailgate that's damaged, which we have to get fixed. We're taking down some of the sticker ball trees around the library and down at Green Acres by the softball field. That tree is going to come down. Not a fan of cutting down trees, but those trees are particularly dirty. They litter. There's little sticker balls everywhere. They're all over the sidewalks. They're just a tripping hazard. They're just a problem. The sweeper's been out and will continue to be out. There was a huge sinkhole. We had a problem with a resident that had reported a sinkhole on the edge of a property. It was on an easement up at 3rd Avenue, right by Irish Hill. We were able to go into it as the result of a tree that had been taken down previously, and the stump was never removed. So we were able to go in, remove the stump, fill the hole, level it out. And matter of fact, the resident wrote a very nice letter to Public Works thanking them for being so awesome about it and taking care of it. So they took care of that in one day. The Point down at Gerace Jewelers is in works. The job has gone out to bid, and hopefully I'm going to hear something really soon. I've been keeping in touch with the county on that, so I'm hoping that I'll get a start date as soon as they get the bid. It's been busy. The trees are along Smith Lane by the ball field, just so Parks and Rec knows, they are all going to be trimmed up so that we can walk underneath of them and not have to duck. And the library, we'll just touch on the recycling. I received a very detailed report about recycling for 2013. We recycled 4,653.89 tons, which did not go into our mainstream trash. And if it had gone into our mainstream trash, it would have saved us it would have cost us $293,000 and some change to get rid of it. So it saved us a huge amount. So when you talk about recycling, it is definitely a money-saving thing for the borough. So I encourage everyone to continue to recycle. And since I'm also on the library, I've got a couple things to report there. The library is proudly becoming the new owner of 9 new computers. So that was with the help of the borough, including Mr. Wright, Councilman Kapadas, to help make that happen. It's going to continue to keep them updated with the best equipment that's available to the public. So that is a huge step. Summer reading activities are going to begin the first Monday after school has completed. The pajama story hour is going to be held on Tuesday evenings from 6:30 to 7:30 for preschool through grade 3. And please feel free to contact the library for any more information. And the library's book club meets on the first Wednesday of each month. So the next meeting is tomorrow at 6:45. The library encourages you to come down, check it out, and partake in the festivities. The library has a lot to offer. I mean, it's a lot more than what people think, so I encourage everybody to please go down and check it out. And that is all there is.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thank you.
Mike?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Parks and Recreation, fence and fields, that's all I've been doing. Continue to work with the RYAA. Everything's moving fairly smooth. It's looking great down there. As I once said, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, and there's a lot of broken eggs down there right now. But it's moving smoothly and it's looking really good coming around. Applications are on the front desk of Town Hall for counselors for summer camp this year. All interested parties must be 16 years old by July 1st and Runnymede residents. Information about the camps will be finalized this week and will be announced and sent out to all the schools probably next week at some time. I will be meeting Jack Schwartz at the RY to talk to him about the pole barn workout building that we're trying to get that under the open space grant. So I guess that's a good sign. My first grant, we'll meet him out there, it must be a good sign. And I would like to thank Public Works for all they do for Parks and Recreation. As much as they have to do and Bev has them doing, I couldn't do nothing without them. So I'd like to thank Bev and Public Works. And that's it, man.
Thank you. Richard? Hey?
I know to rely on my report from caucus to say it was enjoyable participating in all of the activities in your report.
Thank you. Richard? Jim and
I have nothing to report.
Brian?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to rely on my report at caucus, but a lot has happened since two Tuesdays ago. I'll try and update a few things. First of all, on tonight's agenda, Bob talked about resolutions 1477 and 1478 are to award the 2 contracts for the low quotes for the doors. We did do the notice to proceed for the door closers and the crash chains out of Beaver Branch Park. I'm just coordinating with Rich on getting the contractor a PO so he can get that process going. Bob talked about Beaver Branch Park is up and running now. We have our final payment recommendation went out today because we were waiting to get all the operation and maintenance manuals from the contractor. So I have that. I'm going to hand it off to somebody. I'm going to let the 3 directors I've been working with fight out who gets it, whether it's engineering, Parks and Rec, or Public Works. I'm not sure who gets the operation and maintenance, but I'm going to give it to Joyce, and they can figure out who's going to be in charge of that building. At the caucus, we talked about possibly getting a road excavation ordinance on the books. I sent everybody a sample from Magnolia. I don't know if you've all had a chance to look at it, but something you might want to consider in the near future. But basically, it would put a 5-year moratorium on any roads that the borough reconstructs. There is a fee structure that was friendlier to residents as opposed to businesses and things like that. So if you have a chance to look at that, I know Len's didn't have a chance to look at it, so I don't think you have anything on your agenda tonight in that regard. We did have 2 pre-construction meetings for the Borough Hall generator and for the fencing project down at the RYAA. As Mike said, the fence project's moving along smoothly. There was an issue that came up, and I'm going to try and walk something onto the agenda tonight. We're having a standing seam metal roof on the 6 dugouts out there, but there's a potential that there's going to be sharp edges around the perimeter. So I've been working with the contractor, and we came up with a fix of using pressure-treated 2x4s and an aluminum J channel, and that will protect the sharp edge. Unfortunately, there's a cost increase of $3,700. It's about $600 a dugout, which seems reasonable considering the amount of work that they have to do. So I'm hoping to walk that onto tonight's agenda to get that approved because it's a fast-paced project and I can't wait until June's meeting to get it on the agenda. So hopefully that's something we can consider. I don't know if it takes resolution for that amount. What's that? Yeah. I got it in the mail today. So, anyway, that's, and that's all I have to bring up at this point, unless there's any questions on anything that's going on around town.
Thank you, Mark.
No? Okay.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak on the comments that we just spoke about, please come to the mic, state your name and address, but that topic only.
Seeing no one, I make a motion to close the public portion.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's voted. New business.
Request authorization for the advertisement of bids for the 2014 road program.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to go out for the bids for the program.
Who seconded it? All the- All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I move that this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1475 is a resolution authorizing the refund of property taxes due to the effective date of an application of a 100% permanently and totally disabled veteran in Block 165, Lot 4.
Make a motion to approve.
That should be a roll call. Somebody second it?
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly? Yes. Mrs. Moore? Yes. Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1476 is a resolution authorizing adjustments to sewer accounts.
I have a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1477 is a resolution accepting the low quote for the Borough Hall front door replacement.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1478 is a resolution accepting the low quote for the, Borough Hall side door replacement.
I'll make a motion.
Second it?
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1479 is a resolution regarding employment in the Borough of Runnymede. This is the accepting the resignation of Ralph Jen.
I make a motion to accept the resolution.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move that this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1481 is a resolution authorizing the Runnymede VFW 3324 to conduct a coin toss on county and borough streets.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I second it?
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1482 is a resolution authorizing 2014 appointments to the police department. Tracy Cullip as a substitute crossing guard for $10.50 per hour, and when she works as a matron at $10.20 per hour. And to the construction department, Keith Knight as fire subcode official at $5,000 per year prorated for 2014.
Have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1483 is a resolution removing a disabled deduction for 2014 from a property that was sold in 2013.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore? Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1485 is a resolution removing a senior and widow of event deduction for 2014 due to the death of the property owner.
I'll make a motion.
Motion.
I second that.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
And Mr. Capani?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Resolution 1487 is a resolution authorizing the release of a maintenance bond posted by DPE 190 Runnymede Associates.
I so move.
I second that?
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Capani?
Yes. You're gonna fix that.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Signature. 14-87.
Oh, I have it wrong. Yeah, I will. Resolution 1488 is a resolution authorizing the Borough of Meeting to enter into an agreement with the State of New Jersey Division of Motor Vehicles July 1st, 2014, not to exceed 1 year, pending a solicitor review. He's not here to review it, so.
I make a motion to approve pending solicitor review.
I second that motion.
Just for discussion on this, this is the same contract that we've had for the previous years with the motor vehicles to have a police officer at the motor vehicle station, you know what I mean? So it's the same contract, but we have to have the solicitor review before it's finalized. Roll call?
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore? Yes. Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capaz?
Yes.
I move this resolution is now adopted.
Do we want to walk on resolution 1489 for the dugout change orders? Is anybody? It's not on there, Mr. Bayshore.
1490.
1490?
1490?
Does anyone make,
Does the CFO approve funds?
Mr. Wright? Mr. Root, do you want to make a motion to?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for a change order to reconfigure the dugouts for safety reasons.
I second.
In the amount of
3745.64. 45 and 64 cents. $3,745.64. It's about $600 a dugout.
How many dugouts is that for?
Six.
Six, all right. I questioned, there was six.
Probably.
Well, roll call.
I made the second.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore? Yes. Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capaz?
Yes.
6 ayes.
Thank you. This resolution is now adopted.
We have first reading of ordinance 1412. This is an ordinance creating an accident investigation committee.
I make a motion to approve this ordinance on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 4th day of June 2014 at a meeting beginning at 7 p.m.
I second that motion.
Roll call.
Is there any discussion on this for a second, though? Does everyone understand this is just changing a resolution to an ordinance, establishing positions instead of people? Originally, we had people's names, and obviously people covered that, so this is the positions. Okay?
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore? Yes. Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Capaz?
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this. Second.
I'd like to bring something else under new business. Mr. Bayshore also spoke about the road opening ordinance. Did everyone get a chance to see that? Because what's important about this is the roads that we're putting in with our own money, we don't have an ordinance that would set standards or maybe even possibly deny someone from opening our road right after we fixed the road or replaced it. So is it possible to read this just as a first
The
reading?
problem is that it doesn't really comply with what the other things that we have. I mean,
So you had to change
I
other-
know you want to do a moratorium, that's fine, but for instance, we have fees established already, so that they're different than what.
So it has to be combined with the other?
That's why,
Okay.
Lenny.
So we have to wait, then. I apologize. We might have to amend an existing ordinance as opposed to creating a new ordinance to do this, so. That's not.
If any ordinance is inconsistent with an ordinance you pass, it automatically repeals it.
What, do you want to ditch the entire road opening ordinance that we have?
But that can create orientation.
Yeah. What did they do exactly with the one that sample your sense? Did they get rid of their old
They
ordinance?
just replaced their old ordinance.
So replace the existing ordinance? Maybe we should just table it for another month. The problem we're having is we've got some situations right now that we have to try to address the quicker we get it. I guess that we have to do it right. So, okay, we'll just table that, we'll get it ready for next month. Thank you.
Payment of bills?
I make a motion to pay the monthly bills.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore? Yes. Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
6 ayes.
The good and welfare portion of the meeting. Anyone wishing to say anything, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address.
Pam Palasano, E31 North Oakland Avenue.
Dolores Gloharski, 838 North Oakland Avenue.
We're here about the flooding of North Oakland. It was a mess. You know that.
And it all goes through my yard, and it comes out, and
As soon as it started to flood, I had them go out and try to get barricades out, because that was the first place I went. I was on my way home, and I thought, I can't imagine what's gonna happen down there with all the rain. So I know,
yeah, this happens every time
I know
we
it
have
does.
a heavy rain.
absolutely.
And
It comes down from the wall.
From one corner all the way through, all the way to my next door neighbor, down his driveway.
Yep.
Now, Dolores has had Mr. Knight out because some of our neighbors, they pump their water to the back of their yard. Unfortunately, the back of their yard,
It's part of the issue.
yes, and it's on higher ground. Mr. Knight informed Dolores that she should go talk to the mayor.
Oh, really?
Really? So that's another reason we're bringing it. What do we do?
Is there anything we can do about that?
Well,
There's
I
no,
don't want Mr. Knight telling people to come to the mayor. You know, that's not really not a solution.
well, I know
Well,
that,
I think it's more council.
it's a council, mayor and council's decision. Just to let you know a little bit that started on this process, the engineer was reached out to find out if there was any plans in the past to resolve this water problem. At the time, the current engineer does not know of any plans to fix it. So then the stormwater management superintendent, he is now getting us copies of all the stormwater drains, and we do intend to look at it. Now that the baseball fields are being fixed, we're hoping, as you know, that a lot of the water starts there. So maybe when we're working on the phase 2, the long-term plan for the baseball fields, we can, as we're fixing the parking lot, maybe we can do some drainage issues. Because obviously, you're right, we need to get the water before it comes to your backyard.
As bad as it is on Oakland, be glad you don't live on Bowers, because it's where, and that's where it starts. It
Well,
starts
that's where it
there and
starts.
runs right
There's no
through.
drainage on that.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it, on that part of Bowers, and that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that, but as you know, we only have a limited amount of money for road projects every year and things like that, but it's definitely on the radar screen. And since we are working on the fields, I think this is something that, the volunteers have worked a lot to try to fix the grading problems up there, as you well know. So we do need to do that. As for the pumping of the water on your neighbor's property, I don't think there's any there's no ordinance against that, because they're not actually pumping it in the street. Actually, pumping it in the street would be against the current ordinance. We'll have to look at that a little bit more to see. I think we need to look at how we're going to fix the water problem north of you.
Yeah, well, we never had that trouble until they built the houses.
There's extra houses.
And I never had that trouble.
Yeah.
And definitely that did create a problem, absolutely.
Change the
Because I remember
landscape.
before they were there, and I know that it was never like that.
No, I
And it's
never
awful.
had.
I said, as soon as it started, I knew, and it was already starting to flood then, it had just started, so,
We just thought we'd keep you
no,
aware.
absolutely, squeaky wheel, it gets the oil, so.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we're going to squeak.
That's okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Come on up, Charlie.
Good evening, sir. Charles Romine, 417 West 3rd Avenue. The OEM coordinator for the town. I'd like to get a little report. Councilwoman Passio, myself, attended a county meeting. County is creating regional shelters. There's going to be 3 of them. Woodbine High School, Sterling High School.
Look a little loud. child, please.
I'm sorry. Audubon High School, Sterling High School, Camden's going to have 5, Cherry Hill's going to have 3, and Gloucester Township is going to be the only Cayuga County College. They're going to supply, the county's going to supply the medical staff, the doctor and the nurse. They're going to supply all the food. Each shelter's going to have a pod with cots, all the supplies in there. They're going to have 3 to 4 days worth of food on hand at all times. This is going to relieve the borough of Runnymede in case of a major incident, hurricane, tornado, whatever. The Audubon shelter is going to shelter 13 communities, and we're one of them. The only thing we're going to supply will be police officer, PMT, firefighter, and some essential personnel to fill in to help serve food or whatever. The county's already working on plans to put up on high school, going over the contracts, signing contracts with food handlers and all up there. So we don't know when the next meeting's going to take. Start working all the fine details out and what financial how we're going to support it financially. It's going to be pet friendly. Residents take their pets to the shelter, and from there will be transported to one of the kennels. They're also going to supply for all the transportation. So our residents will be in the Harry Williams building. We'll supply transportation from there to Audubon High School. So it really relieves us with a lot of issues. Instead of us being in a shelter 24 hours a day for maybe 3 days, we'll supply personnel for 12-hour shift maybe every 3 days. So this is going to be a role model for the state. Cayuga County is going to be the first county with regional shelters. So something we're getting on the bandwagon to start because all the problems they've been having down south and out west. So that's about it until we have our next meeting.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I just have one question. I will talk with Captain Daly, Chief Daly,
Right.
about this because I think that he should be advised as to how he'll be scheduling his people if he is required to produce, provide the security.
Yeah, well, we've already had some meetings with the DMO, the planning committee. We've already met.
Okay.
And
Oh, he's aware?
he's
The
aware
chief
of it,
is aware of
yeah.
it?
He's aware of it, the fire department's aware of it. Our next meeting, they're actually going to tell us how much personnel we need for each department. It goes by X amount of persons per 100 people. So they really haven't
Food servers there.
Yeah, so they really haven't come back with any figures yet.
Okay.
As far as our shelters, the whole school and the Harry Williams building, they fill out their surveys, and the county is coming in this month. We're going to have a meeting and inspect our shelters. We haven't got a reply back yet from Triton. We're looking into talking to the Monsignor, St. Mary Grady's, about the church. It's already a shelter for evacuations for Old School and the Bingham School. So we want to talk to them about backup shelter for the whole town.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good?
Thank you, thank you.
Good job, John.
Thank you.
Krista Moore, 553 North Oakland Avenue. I just wanted to take the opportunity, my son, Brian, he's probably very embarrassed, but is participating in your Youth Mayor and Council this week. And I wanted to personally thank the Runnymede Council for still putting money into this very important program. I think that anytime you get a chance to talk to children about civics and about the way our town and community is run, I think it's a fantastic program. And personally, to thank all of you who are sacrificing some of your time this week to help spend with the kids in the community. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
See, no one else come up. Oh, now you put your hand up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, good evening, and I just wanted to, first of all, send my congratulations to Chief Daly. I couldn't make it this evening. My son had a doctor's appointment, so for his senior prom, so I am remiss in being late, but you could not have chosen a nicer gentleman to fill the large shoes of Mr. Diana. And Mr. Daly has always been very approachable for myself for years and years when I was running the RY, and I wish him all the best. I also have noticed the flooding issues, and I spoke to Jim Clancy, who I'm sure most of you are familiar with, Bachman Associates worked with Jim years past, and he used to be our planning board engineer and our mayor and council engineer years past. We were just having a conversation this afternoon on the phone about a new product that is a porous concrete. We were talking about it for the townhouse project that may or may not happen, and it's a new type of concrete that actually allows water to drain. Now, I don't pretend to know a lot about it. It's the first half-hour conversation I've had about it, but it's certainly something that I think, going forward, would certainly bear some interest in looking into. I mean, we started having a water table issue when we put the wall line in. That raised the water table when we put the tanks in. That started the process on Bowers. We had to put a berm in at the minor league field. It's just been an ongoing issue. But I mean, I just thought it was kind of neat that I walked in this evening and Jim and I had that conversation this afternoon. We just passed each other on the highway and we called to say hello. And that's the new product that's coming out. I'm sure Stephen Bach and his people are well aware of it. But just another thing that you might want to look into when we're doing these little parking lots. I don't know how appropriate it is for, all the impervious surfaces that you're going to be doing, but for like parking lots and things like that, and sidewalks, it's definitely appropriate for sidewalks, basketball courts, and I think it would displace a lot of the water on all these impervious surfaces that we have out there just to help. It can't hurt, it can certainly help. And in closing, happy Mother's Day to all you lovely ladies.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. We got the kids.
Maria.
Talk loud enough, honey.
Maria Leonetti, 313 East Columbus Road. Me, Destiny, and PC, and Lacey, she play softball for the RGSO and UGSO. We've been playing since we were little, and our games, we don't really have much at home because our lights and our games are scheduled a little bit later. So the lighting on our field kind of shortens our game time, and we'd like to have lights so we can play more, because that's like, we love playing softball, it's kind of our life.
Is there a lighting issue there?
Oh, there is no.
Oh, there are no, lights. That's why the window is so small. Okay.
Ladies, appreciate you coming up. The problem is with lighting, and we've been looking into it now with 3 acres, RYAA, and girls softball. It's very expensive. If it's affordable, and it's not out of the question, we're looking into the future for lighting in Borough Meeting. There's issues with where our fields are in the town that there are. They're not, Green Acres probably won't be an issue because that's way out. Nobody lives around it. RYAA and the girls softball, you're right in the neighborhood. So we're going to have issues with neighbors wanting and not wanting lights up and stuff like that. But it's something we're looking into in the future. And, we want everybody to be happy. And it would be great to have lights on both fields and play all night long. But, right, it's very expensive, but we are looking into it. Thank you.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you. See no one else, I'll close this portion of the meeting.
Yeah, I make a motion to close the public portion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Jeremy?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes, sir.